How was Burt Reynolds? Nice guy?
He was a great guy, but he was in a really interesting place where he had gotten the Golden Globe for Boogie Nights.
Right.
And then it had come out that he had fired his reps because he'd been embarrassed by Boogie Nights, and he didn't win the Oscar. And the night before, he was flown down to the Oscars, and he was kind of figuring out that he wasn't going to win. I think Robin Williams won that year for Good Will Hunting. We were shooting out on the ice at like 30 below, and he got very cranky, and he yelled at the line producer, and then like a pretty rough bit of verbal abuse, and then he felt so bad about it, and it was all because I think he just, this was a comeback for him. This is a huge deal, Boogie Nights, right? And
he didn't realize
he didn't realize it.
Yeah.
He's on our set, and he wants to be let go, and I'm shooting huge scene in a locker room with Russell Crowe and all these hockey players, and it's the coaching scene. It's the scene where Bert's supposed to be he's the judge who then gives Russell the strength to keep going. It's a really kind of funny, tropey moment, but he get so bent out of shape, and I actually step between them. I feel like it might get violent. I step between him and the line producer, and he feels so bad, and he walks back on the mark where he had been giving that speech, and we weren't filming, but he starts to do a long apology that gives his whole history of how he grew up with how you treat directors, and Robert Mitchum used to hang the director off the balcony by his ankles, and I've been injured so many times, and I've flatlined, from Percodeine, and this whole, it was the most unbelievable. I think it was like 20 minutes long.
Like a mea culpa?
Oh, yeah. And what I didn't know is the video tap guy hit record on that.
Yeah.
And somewhere there's a tape of it. But Hank Azaria, to this day, can deliver that whole speech because it was so unbelievable. It was one of those moments when you're on a set.
Was it good? And
it was so good. But so much about the sort of damage an actor has to go through, and the complicated psychology of being such a huge star as Burt was.
Yeah.
And then having this chance at a huge comeback, and then have it be so fragile, and it was just an incredible
and
old
kind
school
of knew
moment.
He blew it somehow.
I think so. That was us all trying to figure out what's going on, but it
sounded like
such a heartbreaking
it was
moment.
sort of a breakdown.
Yeah, but it was also, we loved. I remember the guy who was a hockey player, and a kid.
And he
actor,
just said this to the whole set.
And all of us. Now he's had us all come out. Now it's a big deal, and he's actually now on that mark, lit just like he was when he was giving this other big speech,
the locker room speech.
And it was just the most surreal and kind of amazing and moving moment.
But it was an apology. To the whole crew.
To everybody. Yeah.
For making a scene. For losing his shit.
For losing his shit in front of in front of the whole crew. And we all loved the tension was broken by some, one of the kid hockey players said something like at the very end, he said something like, I think you'll be all right, Burt, or something. And the place just went crazy. Just